Level 1. The first deposit. The notification hits your phone on a Friday afternoon, and something in your posture changes. $674.53. Direct deposit. Your name next to a number that someone else decided you were worth. You open the banking app 3 times in the next hour, not to check if it's still there, to feel it again. Money you didn't ask your parents for, didn't borrow, didn't find. Money that appeared because you stood somewhere for 40 hours and did what you were told. You're 18, maybe 19. The job is retail, or food, or a warehouse with fluorescent lighting that makes everyone look slightly ill. You don't care. $674.53. Rent is not your problem yet, so the entire number feels like freedom. You buy something that night, not something you need, something you want. Shoes maybe, something you can wear on Monday so people can see that something about you has changed. You text a friend a screenshot of the deposit, 3 fire emojis back. You feel like you've started. That feeling is correct, but what you've started is longer and stranger than the version of it in your head right now. Your second paycheck you spend before it arrives, not formally, but in your mind it's allocated to 6 different things before Friday. When it hits, $674.53 again, it feels smaller, not the number, the feeling. By the 5th paycheck, you stop checking the app. It just appears. You just spend it. The month ends and you have $43 left, and you can't explain where the rest went because nobody taught you to track it. Nobody taught you that the first skill of earning money is knowing where it disappears. And it always disappears faster when you're not watching. The thing you couldn't have known at paycheck 1 is already happening. The money normalized. The amount that changed your posture is now just the temperature of your life, and you've started wanting the next number without realizing that wanting the next number is the thing that never stops.
Level 2. The salary. You get your first real job on a Tuesday. Salary, benefits, a number discussed in annual terms, $38,000. You divided it by 12 before you left the interview parking lot, $3,166 a month, minus taxes, which you didn't account for, because nobody at 22 understands taxes until the first paycheck arrives, and the number is $2,714 instead. Someone took $452, and you have no idea where it went, and no one can explain it in a way that feels fair. The apartment takes $1,100. The car takes $340. Phone, subscriptions, gas, groceries. You do the math on a Sunday night, and what's left is $390 of breathing room. $390 a month is the distance between I have a salary and I have a life, and it is narrower than you expected. A year passes. You get a performance review that says meets expectations, and a raise of 3%, which is $1,140 per year, which is $95 per month, which after taxes is roughly $34 per paycheck. You buy lunch with it without noticing. That raise took 12 months of showing up on time and 14 minutes to spend on a sandwich. This is the math no one shows you on career day. Your friends from college have different numbers. Nobody says theirs first. Everyone is measuring. Everyone pretends they're not. You learn to say, "I'm doing fine," in a tone that closes the conversation. You are doing fine. You're also aware, for the first time, that fine has a ceiling and you can almost touch it from where you're standing. Level 3. The jump. You switch jobs because staying was going to cost you more than leaving. Not emotionally, financially. Loyalty at your last company was worth 3% per year. The market was willing to pay 57% more for the same skills if you walk through the discomfort of asking. The new offer is $58,000. You negotiate for the first time in your life. Your voice does something strange when you say, "I was hoping for 62. They meet you at 60. You feel like you want to fight and also like you left money on the table. Both are true, and they will coexist every time you discuss your worth with someone who has the power to decide it. $60,000 changes the texture of your week. You have a washer in the unit, you buy groceries without doing math in the aisle, you go to a restaurant and don't check the right side of the menu first. Small things that feel enormous. This is where you discover the thing nobody warns you about. Lifestyle creep doesn't feel like creep. It feels like finally. The better apartment feels earned, the better groceries feel deserved. Each decision is rational. The aggregate is the problem, but you can't see the aggregate because you're living inside it. Your savings account has $2,400 after 4 years of working. You don't calculate the ratio. You already know it would make you feel something you don't want to feel on a Sunday night. Someone at work mentions they max out their 401k. You nod like you understand. You don't. The gap between your income and your wealth is the width of every small rational decision you've made since paycheck 1, and it is growing quietly.
Level 4. The ceiling. $85,000. You're 31. The number would have been fiction 5 years ago. Now it's just what the job pays. You've noticed something you can't unnotice. The jump from $38,000 to $60,000 felt like transformation. The jump from $60,000 to $85,000 felt like adjustment. The money went up by more, and you felt it by less. This is the hedonic math that runs beneath every level of income, and once you see it, it colors everything forward. You have things now. A car with no warning lights. Furniture you didn't assemble. A vacation that requires a passport. You don't worry about rent. You worry about different things. The mortgage you can almost qualify for. The retirement number on an internet calculator so so large you closed the tab and didn't reopen it for 3 months. Your partner earns $52,000. Combined, you look comfortable. You are comfortable. And comfort has done something you didn't anticipate. It has made you afraid. You don't apply for the jobs that scare you. You don't start the thing you've been sketching for 2 years. You don't invest aggressively because losing it means going back. And going back is the thing your nervous system will not allow. This is the golden trap. Earning enough to stay, not enough to leave. And leave doesn't mean quit. It means change the trajectory. Risk the comfort for something that might not work for 18 months. Most people stop here, not because they fail, because they don't try. The ceiling isn't imposed. It's chosen so quietly that most people don't hear themselves choosing it. Level 5. The shift. $120,000. The comma in your bank account has moved and your parents think you've made it. You don't correct them because making it is a moving target, and the target moves at exactly the speed you do. At this level, taxes feel personal. You earn $120,000. You take home $86,000. The $34,000 difference sits in your chest as the quiet recognition that a third of your effort belongs to a system you didn't design and cannot exit. You've started investing, index funds mostly. Your net worth crosses $100,000 on a random Wednesday, and you don't tell anyone because money conversations only go wrong. They either ask for advice you can't give or go quiet in a way that rearranges the friendship. So you carry the number alone. You drive a car 3 years older than your salary suggests. People at level 2 would call this discipline. It's not. It's fear wearing a sensible outfit. You've seen the spreadsheet. You know how fast $100,000 becomes $40,000 if you stop paying attention. A job loss, a medical event, a market direction could erase 3 years in 3 months. You are building something and you are terrified of it being taken. And both realities exist simultaneously inside every financial decision you make. This is what they mean when they say money doesn't solve problems. It rearranges them into shapes you didn't know problems could take. Level 6. The quiet. $180,000. You are in a room you once couldn't have imagined standing in. The mortgage pays down. The investments compound while you sleep. Your partner asks about retirement timelines over dinner, and you have projections, not fantasies. You should feel triumphant. You think about this more than you'd admit. You should feel the way you felt when $674.53 hit your phone when you were 19, and the world rearranged around a number with your name on it. You don't. You feel a low, stable hum that never spikes because it never leaves. Financial anxiety didn't disappear when the money got larger. It evolved. Quieter, more specific, harder to explain to anyone who hasn't reached this number. You worry about tax optimization, estate planning, portfolio allocation, whether enough is a destination or a horizon that moves every time you step toward it. You eat lunch alone most days, not from loneliness, from preference. The quiet is productive. Your friends from college are scattered across levels now. The ones below stopped asking about your work. The ones above never mention money at all, which is how you know they have more.
Level 7. The mirror. Your compensation crosses a number you don't say at dinner parties. Salary is one layer, equity another. Investments compounded across a decade of patient, unglamorous contributions. On paper, you are the person that the 19-year-old in the fluorescent warehouse would have traded everything to become. You think about that kid sometimes, standing behind a register, checking their phone under the counter, seeing $674.53, and feeling richer than you feel right now with 50 times that in accounts they didn't know existed. You remember the shoes they bought that Friday, the screenshot, the fire emojis, but you can't access the feeling. The surprise is gone. Not replaced by something better, replaced by something more durable and more stable and significantly less alive. You understand now that money was never the point. Money was the scoreboard for a game, and you were so focused on the number that you forgot to ask what winning looked like. You're not unhappy, that's important to say, but you know what the climb cost. Not dollars, the ability to feel $674 the way it was supposed to be felt. That capacity was used up somewhere between level 3 and 5, and you didn't notice it leaving because you were busy earning the next number. Somewhere right now, a phone is buzzing on a Friday afternoon. Someone just got their first direct deposit, $674, maybe $712. They're opening the app for the 3rd time. They're taking a screenshot. They're feeling the thing you can't feel anymore. The pure, stupid, irreplaceable shock that someone put money in your account because you showed up. They think the next number will feel like this one. They're wrong, but they'll chase it anyway. They always do.